people, this chaos. And in this video, I'm going to talk about, you can see the topic of discussion is Doctrine of Eclipse. So let's get started. Uh, 26th of Jan, 1950, a constitution was enforced. Fine. It was the enforcement of constitution. Fine. Here is Article 13 clause first. It says that, what it says that if any law, and one more thing, people, the laws that are made before the enforcement of the constitution, we call them as pre-constitutional law. And the law which are made after the enforcement of the constitution, they are called as post-constitutional law. Fine. So Article 13, we will be using it. Fine. Article 13 clause first says that if any law, that one law or maybe the old law, fine, any law that is made and enforced before the enforcement of the commencement of the constitution shall be declared null or void if it does violate a fundamental right. Fine. So what it says, if it violates fundamental right, then it will be declared what? Null and void. This is what says Article 13 clause first is applicable on pre-constitutional laws. If any law that is made before the commencement of the constitution, and if it violates one or many fine fundamental rights, it will be declared null and void. Fine. So this is Article 13 clause first. 13 clause first. Fine. So what happened after that? Let me tell you, people. In there was a case called this is MP Madhya Pradesh government in, I guess, in 1950s, in 1940 or something like that. Fine. It made a law or passed the legislation that there was it was about what, actually it nationalized the transport, because it says that the service is not good, and so we are just nationalizing it so that we can provide a better service to people. Okay, then it was said in that particular case. Then after a couple of years, someone named Bhikaji Narayan, a case called Bhikaji. Let me just clear the space. Bhikaji Narayan versus state of MP. It was in 1955. There is one person said that, sir, you made this law, okay, that's fine, but it violates my fundamental right. How? It violates my fundamental right. 19 clause 1 sub clause G. It is right to vocation. It violated someone's right to vocation, then sir, it violated our fundamental right. Then what Supreme Court said in this case? Supreme Court said that Supreme Court applied this what we call this doctrine of eclipse, and said that if such a pre-constitutional law, if important, because it was under Article 13 clause first, and it is a pre-constitutional law. If this law is important, fine. if this law is important, then what will we do? We will not, we will declare this law as unvalid, or we will declare this law as unvalid or void or null. Fine. But we will not delete this law. Mean to say that this law will remain, but remain in the shadow of fundamental right. How? Let me give you an example so that you people can understand. Let's say you are at your home. Fine. Okay. You're enjoying. You're sitting here watching TV, and here is you are watching TV. Fine, is enjoying. Then what happened? There is let's say leopard. It entered your house. Then what would you do then in that case? Obviously, you have option that some people say that so what we can do, just eliminate this particular animal and then we'll get out of the house. Or there other people will think that, sir, we cannot kill this particular animal. Let me make it. Actually, I'm not good in drawing. Anyway, this is leopard. Fine. Sir, we will not kill this animal. What we will do that we will call the respective authority, we call force department. That, sir, this is the situation, and please come and please capture this particular animal. So why they say that? Because look, people, if we kill this animal, you know that it will affect the. If we kill it, then what will happen? It will affect the food chain. Fine. Did you know that you study in environment? Because there is a, let's say, this is grass, and this is deer, and this particular animal leopard. If we kill this, then this number of deer will increase, then the land will become desert. So what point I want to try to say here is that we will not kill this particular animal. Instead of just make it dormant. The same case applied here. If under Article 13 clause first in state of MP versus Bhikaji Narayan case 1955, it says that Supreme Court applied the doctrine of Eclipse and said that if any such law it violates the fundamental right, we will not delete from this law from the rule book. What we will do that we will put this law in the shadow of a fundamental right. Fine. So this is Article 13 clause first, and the next case come after that. We will discussing it. So let me just summarize the thing. Because 26th of Jan 1950, the enforcement of the Constitution, we divide the law as pre-constitutional law and post-constitutional. 13 clause first is applicable on pre-constitutional law, and 13 clause second is applicable on post-constitutional law. Fine. And it says that if any law, Article 13 clause first, it says that if any law that violates fundamental right, that law will be void and null. Fine. It will be declared. But after that, this was the case because which is a state of MP 1955, that it says that it was someone's right to vocation under Article 19 clause 1 clause 19 clause 1 subclause Z, right to vocation, it violated, then if are the case, and in that case Supreme Court declared that if such a law that violates fundamental right, we will not delete that law, just will dormant that law. It will be put under the shadow of fundamental rights. Fine. So this is the case so far. Now I'll be discussing the upcoming cases. Fine. So what happened after that? There was another case in Deepchand versus. Deepchand versus state of let me see the name. UP 955. What it says, people. In that case, what happened? Can anyone imagine? Can anyone think? In that case, what happened? Supreme Court held that the doctrine of eclipse not a pre-constitutional law. In that case, what happened? Supreme Court said that, sir, uh, doctrine of eclipse, it can be applied to pre-constitutional law as well as post-constitutional law. Fine. So this was that this was said that. Fine. Then there is another case that. Then there is a next case, what we call it as Ambika. Let me rub it. Ambika versus state of Gujarat, 974. So what was the scenario in that case? What Supreme Court said? Actually, people, in Deepchand versus State of UP case, what was it said that we made a mistake, people here, that actually in Deepchand versus State of UP, we made a mistake. Here, what Supreme Court said that we made a mistake, and now I'm correcting my mistake. Please pay attention. Fine. Here, Supreme Court said that this doctrine of lack, what doctrine of, okay, it will be applicable only to pre-constitutional law. Pre-constitutional law, not to post-constitutional. If any law that is made after, the enforcement of the constitution, that law will be declared invalid. It was said in this particular case, Deepchand versus State of UP, what it says that uh, this post constitutional law will be void and null from ab initio. What does it mean, ab initio? Let me write it here. Ab initio. It means from beginning or from starting. Fine. If any law that violates fundamental rights from the beginning, I'm talking about the past constitutional law. Fine. So that was the difference between these two. Fine. Now we come to this particular case, Ambika versus State of Gujarat. What it said in that case, Supreme Court said that in this particular case, let me change the marker here. In this case, what Supreme Court said that this doctrine of eclipse, it will be valid pre-constitutional as well as post-constitutional law. Fine. It actually it overruled its early judgment. Fine. So that is this. That is there. Uh, Pre-constitutional law as well as first constitutional law. So that was there, that in this particular case that the Supreme Court overruled his judgment, and that said that okay, we can apply this doctrine of eclipse on pre-constitutional as well as post-constitutional law. Fine. So this was all about Article 13 clause first. Now let's discuss people what say Article 13 clause second. Fine. Now what it says Article 13 clause first. I've discussed about Article 13 clause first. It says that what Article 13 clause says, it says that if state shall make any law, I said law, that abridges or takes away one or more fundamental right. It says that if state uh, makes any law that, I'm not writing the whole definition here, just to give you the sense. Fine. If a state makes any law that abridges or takes away, that abridges or takes the one or more fundamental right, takes away one or more fundamental right, then that law that law will be declared invalid and void. Fine. So it will be unconstitutional. Fine. So null and void. It was said in this particular Article 13 clause, say 13 clause 2. Fine. So after there are certain developments that happen. I'm going to discuss about these developments. Fine. So Parliament. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah. Now Parliament introduced First Amendment Act. First Amendment Act 1951. Parliament introduces the first constitutional amendment act. Now it has introduced. Let me write. This is Article 15 clause first. It says that I'm not going to write the whole definition because I'm going to discuss it later. Fine. So just to give you some essence here. So it says that state shall not discriminate any state shall not discriminate any person on the basis of what, on the basis of caste. There are certain provisions that mention there. State shall not discriminate on the basis of caste, religion, race. There are certain things. Fine. This is first thing. Now, contradictory to this, what Parliament does. Article 15 clause 4. Parliament introduces 15 clause 4 through this First Amendment Act. Now, what it says that state can make provision. State can make state can make provisions for the advancement. State can make provisions for the advancement of backward classes. Fine. So it seems like that his state will not discriminate on the basis of caste, and there are some other backgrounds as well. But here you see, it seems that it violated this. And one more, Article 19 clause, first sub clause G, right to vocation. Fine, but again, Parliament. Let me write it here. Parliament introduces what Article 19 clause B, and it says that Parliament can put some restriction. Fine, Parliament can put some restriction on right to vocation. So now you see that this particular provision article goes again this, and this one goes again this, and it was introduced through. And now what it says that Article 13 clause 2, as I've discussed, that if any law that violates a fundamental right, it shall be declared void or unconstitutional. Then why is it so? Then there is a case, another case that we'll be discussing. Fine. So what's the name of that case? Can anyone imagine? So what's the name of that case, people? Imagine. And one more thing, through this particular first Constitutional Amendment Act, Parliament also introduces this ninth schedule. If you know that, this is ninth schedule. Fine. If any law, that put under this particular ninth schedule, if it violates fundamental, it doesn't matter. You cannot, challenge in court of law. This is in a ninth schedule. If any law that is made and put under this particular ninth schedule, then that particular law, if it violates fundamental right, it cannot be challenged in the court of law. Fine. This is there. Fine. So there is a particular case called Sankari Prasad versus Union of India, 1951. What it says, sir? Now in this case, this was challenged. Sankari Prasad versus Sankari Prasad Sankari Prasad versus state of, what's the name? Let me just see. Versus Union of India. Versus Union of India, 1951. I've discussed that first Constitutional Amendment Act, but it introduces. Let me just give you a little 15 clause. First, what it says, Parliament introduced 15 clause 4 that goes against 15 clause first. Fine. Then Parliament also introduces, 9 clause B that goes in right to vocation. Fine. And 9th schedule, and all these things were in the introduced in the first Constitutional Amendment Act. It was challenged in court of law. Then Supreme Court said that Supreme Court gave its judgment in the favor of Parliament. Fine. This was the Sankari Prasad versus Union of India, case 951. Fine. So this first Constitutional Amendment Act, it was validated Article 15 clause 4 and 9 clause B, it was also validated under this. But Supreme Court declared something that you know that we need to know what Supreme Court has declared. Why, in that case, Supreme Court said that this is parliament, fine, and it enjoys two types of power. These are the ordinary lawmaking power and the power under, the powers that are related to uh, constitutional legislative power. Constitutional legislative power under Article 368. Par- uh, Parliament, Supreme Court said that. Supreme Court said what it said that Parliament enjoys two types of power related to lawmaking. First one is ordinary lawmaking power, and second one is constitutional and legislative power under Article 360. It says that if Parliament is making law under this, Parliament making law under this Article 368, it means it is not a law that we read in Article 13 clause 3. It does not include that. It is a constitutional amendment. What it if you do anything under Article 368, what will it called as a constitutional amendment? So that is not a law. Fine. That was the first thing that the Supreme Court said, and the second, constitutional legislative power. Sorry, not a constitutional. It's just a legislative power. Fine. Supreme Court said that if any law, any power that is enjoyed or practiced under this, that will not, in the ambit of law that contains in Article 13 clause 3. Fine. But here, if Parliament made any law, what it says, if Parliament make any law exercising these power, and if it's contradictory, whatever the law that makes here, it comes in the ambit of Article 13 clause 3. And if here, if this law is violates the fundamental right, then it would be void if it goes against one or more fundamental rights. And then in Shankari Prasad case, Parliament said that sorry, not Parliament, Supreme Court said that Parliament can amend any part of the Constitution under Article 368. This was the Shankari Prasad case. Fine. So then one more things, there are one more thing, people. Let me discuss it. Now, after that, this particular in Golaknath. Golaknath versus uh, State of Punjab, 1967. Here is the case. Now, what he said that he questioned that. First of all, sir, so he challenged what he asked that, sir, who, I mean, under which, under, let me write it, under which provision of the Constitution, under which provision of the Constitution Parliament can amend the Constitution. It is asking, sir, what is the provision where it is mentioned that Parliament can amend the Constitution under Article 368? This is the first thing that he asked. The second thing, what he challenged, or you can say asked, that, sir, this is the first thing. The second thing, tell me, who gives the power to Parliament that amend the Constitution? So, who gave the power to Parliament to amend the Constitution? Because at that time, Article 360 was read as that. It was read that it only give the procedure to amend the Constitution. It is said that, sir, it is only give the procedure to amend the Constitution. Sir, they said it is only give the procedure. It is not saying that you are the one you can access, you can practice this power. No, it is not mentioned. Then, you know what Parliament did at that time? Actually, by after hearing this, Parliament responded by someone. Let me write it here. 74th Amendment Act 19. I guess 9. It was in 1973. Fine. Yeah. Now, after this, this particular Parliament amended this. Sorry, actually, it's not 1971. It's 1971, people. Not 3. Fine. 1971. Now, Parliament, what Parliament did? Parliament amended this, amended Article 368, and said that, and it was the definition was changed, and now it is read as the procedure to amend the Constitution and the powers to amend the Constitution. Now, how it is read? Procedure to amend the Constitution and powers to amend the Constitution. In that particular case, it is said that, fine. Then after that, there is a case one of the Bharti versus State of Kerala 1973, and this was challenged in case one of the Bharti versus State of Kerala. And this article, this amendment was challenged in Supreme Court. This amendment was challenged, and then after that, the title of this article was challenged, and many other things. But Supreme Court upheld the validity of this. Now, Supreme Court upheld its validity in case one of the Bharti case. Upheld the validity and said that you can amend the Constitution, any part of the Constitution under Article and this. But you should remember one thing, that what was that thing, and that after this, everything was changed. It is said that you can change everything. You can amend the fundamental change, but remember the basic structure. Basic structure must not be changed. Fine. So you should keep in mind, you can amend the Constitution as many times as you want, but remember the basic structure must not be seen. So this was all about doctrine of Eclipse. Then we discussed Article 13 clause person sack in pre and post constitution. There are certain cases. Fine. So this is all about people. I hope you people will enjoy it. Okay. Thanks for watching. Fine.